welcome to another installment of Rod Replays. Today we're covering the violent world of pro wrestling. Dating back to pretty much the formation of pro wrestling with the start of the WWF, it's ebbed and flowed in popularity. Starting with the rise of Hulk Hogan and later Steve Austin, then John Cena, wrestling relies on big characters to carry the company. Now, I'm certainly no historian, but I do know my arm drags from my one-winged angels. And I have a top 5 list of my favourite grapple games. Which ones have you played? Do we share favourites? Do we have that in common? Please let me know in the comments section. While you're at it, like and subscribe. Now, let's see who made the list.
You just made the list!
Now let's start with Wrestle War. Originally released in the arcades, it was ported to the Sega Mega Drive, also known as the Sega Genesis, in 1989. It's simple fun. You travel the territories beating fake Hulk Hogans and fake Road Warrior Hawks and whoever this guy is with the mask, winning belts. It's very much an arcade button masher. I do mean button masher. I need to draw attention to the phenomenal cover art. Not only the PAL release, which looks like a guy who's been taking all the steroids, but the Japanese version as well. Boy, I wonder why they changed it. Overall, like I said, a simple game, nice colourful graphics. It's good just if you want to unwind at the end of the day, hard work, and you need a way to release a bit of frustration. It's kind of perfect for that, really. WWF Attitude. It was released at the sort of mid 1999, although the roster was more based on 1998. But it has a lot of your favourite superstars in that era. Gangrel, Taka Michinoku, The Undertaker. It does have quite clunky gameplay. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and it has a lot of features you wouldn't see again until a lot later on. So create an arena, create a pay-per-view, lots of things like that really. A great create a superstar mode as well, which was built upon from the previous game that Acclaim released. That would be Warzone. One of the coolest features about this game is that you can make your opponents bleed from anywhere. So most wrestlers, you probably don't know this, but most wrestling games can split their foreheads open and cause blood, create the proverbial crimson mask, as it's known in wrestling terminology. But in Attitude, you can make them bleed from the arm, legs, chest. As you can see here, I've done quite the number on my opponent to get him bloodied on my way to dominance as the ultimate wrestling champion. Very good game. Like I say, it's a little bit clunky, but I think the features very much speak for themselves. WWF SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. Now this felt very much like a game for the new millennium. It's combining fast-paced arcade gameplay with a more simulation aspect. You've also got a very in-depth season mode, career mode, where it really feels like you're living the life of a superstar. It feels like you're making the decisions, you're pulling the strings. You've also got an abundance of new game modes, table match, cage, tables, ladders and chairs, which was made very popular that year. You have to bear in mind that before this game you had the aforementioned WWF Attitude, which again did a lot of things right, a lot of good things. Blood, lots of blood on the arms, not just the face. SmackDown doesn't have blood, a bit of a step back I have to admit on that one. You've got a great roster. Again, just a brilliant game, does a lot of things right, and provides a template for many of the games you'd see over the next 2 years. It seems appropriate that the next game I mentioned would be SmackDown 3, Just Bring It. It takes a lot of the formula of SmackDown 2, builds upon it in a lot of ways. It gives you a lot more interactivity in the season mode, although it breaks it down into smaller stories. The gameplay itself is very much slowed down to make it a bit more simulation style. Many see it as the last of the Attitude era. Again, a number of great gameplay modes. Also, the first game in the SmackDown series featured color commentary provided by Michael Cole and Taz. This is authentic commentary, and I think it speaks for itself as far as its ability to really immerse you into what the game feels pro wrestling is and how it should be presented to the person playing the game. Here's a little snippet.
Singles match will be an important match. That must have hurt. This singles match will be an important match.
Overall, a very good game. Was it built upon in the following year, yes. But again, what we have is a great, solid grappling experience, which I think ticks most of the boxes. Now, before we get on to my final pick, let's have a look at these ones that didn't make the list. Honorable mentions. First, we have No Mercy on the N64. This came out in 2000. It's sort of peak Attitude Era. Looking at the game modes, match types, and the roster, it's generally seen as the best wrestling game ever made. It's pretty good. I like it. We have SmackDown Here Comes the Pain on the PlayStation 2. This had a great story mode. The introduction of legends. It did a lot of things right. Again, it's sort of seen as one of the best. 2K 2020, a much more recent game. Of all the wrestling games released, this is definitely one of them. It's still talked about so much, it even overshadowed the following year's game. And that's it for our honorable mentions. Now, back to the list, Chris Jericho.
You just made the list!
So my final pick is WCW versus NWO World Tour. Now, this was originally released in Japan and represented the Dead or Alive and independent union promotions there. I'm not able to find really any info on these federations. Anyway, they added WCW and New World Order to the roster and changed the name of the game, all whilst keeping Japanese legends like Hannibal and Powder Keg. Now, this is the first wrestling game on the Nintendo 64, and whilst it was built upon by the following games from this company, like No Mercy, this was the first of its kind and really got that simulation style down to a T, I think. And whilst I think it obviously has been built upon and fleshed out with new features and improved graphics and career modes, I think what we have here is, for my money, the epitome of a great wrestling game. It very much does feel like a simulation, but it really works with that. It's a bit limited on features. I think the fun is there in that simulation style. If you want a wrestling simulator, this is where you go. So anyway, that is my list. I hope you've enjoyed this look back at my favourites growing up, and I would definitely like to know your opinion. I'd like to know if you have a list of wrestling games that you would your go-tos. I'd also like to know if you could pick one game out of your top 5. So if you were stuck on a desert island, what's the one wrestling game you'd like to have with you? I think for me it might be World Tour. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Join me next time for Rod Replays, where I may be playing games I have played before and just want to replay them and show you. Or it could be games I've not played before. There's a list, there's many games I've not played before. Maybe you might be able to suggest them to me in a comment down below. Until then, I want you to like and subscribe if you feel that's something you want to do, if you like the content that's provided for you, if you like videos. And look forward to another Rod Replays coming to you soon.